During a phone call between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin following talks with the leaders of Europe and Volodymyr Zelensky, a bilateral meeting between Russia and Ukraine was agreed upon. Volodymyr Zelensky said this during a briefing following the meeting. According to him, the meeting will probably take place at the level of leaders, but the details are still unknown. After that, a trilateral meeting of Zelensky, Putin and Trump will take place. Putin and Zelensky must discuss territorial issues between themselves. Moreover, according to the Ukrainian president, the initiative for a bilateral meeting came from the Kremlin. Kiev agreed to it without preconditions. If we start demanding a preliminary ceasefire, Russia will start putting forward 100 other conditions, Zelensky explained this decision. The Kremlin said that Trump and Putin expressed support for continuing direct negotiations between the delegations of Russia and Ukraine and discussed the possibility of raising the level of representatives of the Ukrainian and Russian sides. According to German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who also took part in the talks, Trump and Putin agreed to hold a presidential meeting between Russia and Ukraine within 2 weeks. Whether the Russian president would have the courage to attend such a summit, we don't know, Merz said. Donald Trump also announced the start of preparations for the Putin-Zelensky meeting, as well as the trilateral summit. European countries and the United States agreed to provide security guarantees to Ukraine. The details of this plan are unknown, but Friedrich Merz and Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni previously stated that the guarantees would be similar to Article 5 of the NATO Charter on Collective Defense. Donald Trump did not support the idea of concluding a ceasefire before a final peace settlement in Ukraine. Zelensky agreed with him, although he initially presented it as a tough demand. European countries are of the opinion that a ceasefire must be reached first. A summit meeting is only possible when the weapons are silent, said Friedrich Merz. During the Oval Office meeting between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Donald Trump, Brian Glenn, a conservative reporter, told Zelensky that, "You look fabulous in that suit." According to Associated Press, Glenn had asked the Ukrainian leader about his clothing during his last visit to the Oval Office, implying that his casual dress was disrespectful. Trump jumped in saying, "I said the same thing." Turning to Zelensky, Trump said, "That's the one that attacked you last time." "I remember that," Zelensky said as laughter rippled through the room. As Zelensky answered a question about the difficulty of holding an election during Ukraine's war with Russia, Trump appeared to jokingly hypothesize how a similar circumstance could allow him to stay in power in the U.S. past the expiration of his current term. "So let me just say 3.5 years from now, so you mean, if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, I wonder what the fake news would say," Trump said. Zelensky noted the difficulties of being able to hold elections during wartime, saying that a truce would be needed to do so safely. "We can do security," Zelensky said. "We need a truce, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, the sky and the sea, to make it possible for people to do democratic open legal elections." Zelensky wants security guarantees as part of any deal to end Russia's war against his country. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, mentioned NATO-style security guarantees for Ukraine as he was being interviewed on Sunday talk shows. "It's on the meeting agenda. We're going to be discussing it today," Trump said. He said European leaders want to give Ukraine protection and the U.S. will participate.
With European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war.
Well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group.
You look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, looks good on
I
you.
said the one that attacked you last time. See, now
I remember that.
Yeah, I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit. You see, I changed, you are not.
Maybe yours is much better. Real quickly, upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say
we're ready.
during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that he was a horrible president. Whether it was the borders or this, he was just a horrible, corrupt president.
Last week, you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because you're
I don't
meeting
think you
with
need a
President Putin?
ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. And I know that it might be good to have, but I can also understand strategically why, well, you know, one country or the other wouldn't want it. You have a ceasefire and they rebuild and rebuild and rebuild, and, you know, maybe they don't want that. But if you look at the 6 deals that we made peace and you know, long-term, long-running wars, I didn't do any ceasefires. Would I like the concept. You know, I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately, as opposed to in 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever it takes. But we can work a deal where we're working on a peace deal while they're fighting. They have to fight. I wish they could stop. I'd like them to stop. But strategically, that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. But all of these deals I made without even the mention of the words ceasefire.
President Zelensky, are you
Can
disappointed
you
that there's no
explain the
ceasefire?
decision to offer Ukraine Article 5-like security guarantees, but stop short of pushing for their full membership?
Yeah, well, we haven't done anything on that yet. If you look back and you go back long before President Putin, it was always a statement that they would never allow Ukraine into NATO. So that was a statement that was made, but we haven't discussed any of that yet. We're going to be discussing it today. But we will give them very good protection, very good security. That's part of it. And the people that are waiting for us, they are, I think they're very like-minded. They want to help out also. Strategically, that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. But all of these deals I made without even the mention of the words